Most roofing manufacturers say their shingles last 30 to 40 years, but here in Calgary, that number can be cut in half, and most homeowners have no idea until water is dripping through their ceiling. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how long your roof is going to last, what's killing it faster than it should, and the warning signs you need to watch out for before it turns into a very costly problem. So my name is Vipin. I own Lumina Roofing and Exteriors and Lumina Homes here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We've inspected literally thousands of roofs in this city. And Calgary is one of the harshest environments for roofing in the country. What I'm sharing today comes from practical experience that I've experienced out in the field. So let's get right into it. I'm going to have a supplemental document going up on the left or the right side here. So section 1, why Calgary is hard on roofs. So before we talk lifespan numbers, you need to understand what Calgary's climate actually does to a roof, because it's not just one thing, it's 4 different things. So thing number 1 is hail. Now, obviously everybody already knows this. Calgary is the heart of the hail alley. It's one of the most hail-prone regions in North America. Large hail impacts crack shingle granules. They even crack the base mat of that shingle, so it could be fiberglass or like an organic material. It exposes the mat underneath to UV and moisture. The damage isn't always visible from the ground, but it's happening. Even a moderate hailstorm can take 5 or more years off the roof of your life, or off of the life of your roof. Strike number 2. We have insane freeze-thaw cycles. So Calgary gets dozens of freeze and thaw cycles every single winter. Water gets under shingles, it freezes, expands, and forces the shingles to lift. Over the years, this loosens fasteners, breaks the shingle ceiling and the seal strips, and creates pathways for water intrusions. Chinooks actually even make this worse. A temperature swing of 20 degrees in a few hours is brutal to roofing materials. Strike number 3, UV exposure. So we sit at a higher elevation than most Canadian cities, and I'm sure you guys have heard Calgary is one of the sunniest cities in North America. What this means is that the UV from the sun breaks down asphalt and dries out the oils that keep shingles flexible. A dried out shingle cracks, it curls, and it fails, so often years before its warranty date as well. But strike number 4 is we get extremely heavy loads of snow. A significant snowfall can put hundreds of pounds of weight on your roof. This weight not only compresses shingles, it stresses the decking underneath, and it also melts unevenly, which can leave ice dams at the eaves, which force water backwards underneath your shingles and straight into your attic. What the lifespan of your shingles are based on the material that's up there. So let's talk numbers. Here's how different roofing materials actually last in Calgary, not based off of what the warranty says, because the truth is the warranties are always built for ideal conditions. And I feel like most contractors don't even know this to begin with. So if you have 3-tab asphalt shingles, most warranties will be about 20 to 25 years. Realistically, I've seen these shingles last 12 to about 18, maybe 20 years if you're extremely lucky and you have light colors, so like light browns, light grays. Architectural laminate shingles. These are the most common shingles in Calgary. All new construction is built with them. They're 2-layer construction. They have more granule mass. They have better wind resistance. The warranty is typically 30 to 40 years, depending on the brand that you're with. And the realistic Calgary lifespan is about 18 to 25-ish years. And that's with proper installation and proper ventilation. This is the sweet spot for most homeowners. And the reason I say proper ventilation, this is extremely important, because I've run into this issue multiple times over the past decade or so that we've been in business. Once you replace like a roof that's aging or has aged, or it's made out of organic material, that roof is fairly breathable, which means the hot air from your attic was actually making its way out through the shingles themselves. When we come in and we replace your shingles with a more airtight shingle, like the newer fiberglass laminate shingles, the issue that happens is a lot of people notice attic rain because their ventilation wasn't actually up to par as much as it should be. So a lot of people start noticing things like that, and like contractors only know this based off of experience. Next material is impact resistant class 4 shingles. So these shingles are kind of engineered to take a beating, right? Their SBS polymer modified asphalt core absorbs impact without cracking. The warranty is usually around 40 to 50 years. Some have around 30 to 40 years, same as the laminate architectural class 3 shingles. In Calgary, we see these last about 22 to about 30 years. If you're really lucky, I've seen some last about 35 years. They cost more upfront, but they're the right product for our city, right? Like in the long term, they actually pay for themselves. And your insurance company might actually be offering a discount on class 4 rated shingles as well. So ask your broker or speak with your insurance company. Next up, we have metal roofing. Obviously, metal roofing lasts about 40 to 50. I've actually even seen it last a little bit more than 50 years. It handles hail well, it sheds snow well, it laughs at freeze-thaw cycles, and there's a higher upfront cost, but a lowest lifetime cost out of all of these materials. And it's increasingly popular in Calgary over time. It's getting increasingly popular in Calgary. Next up is cedar shake. Beautiful but high maintenance in Calgary. The moisture cycling, wet snow, dry Chinooks rain is extremely hard on the wood. The realistic lifespan that I've seen from cedar shakes is 15 to 20 years. If they're maintained, you can maybe get 20 to 25 years out of them. But most homeowners who replace cedar shake don't go back to it, and they end up replacing it with asphalt shingles. Next up, we have some commercial and flat roofing, so low slope roofing, TPO, EPDM, which typically lasts 15 to 25 years, depends on how well they're installed and like what kind it is. So like we've seen ballasted EPDM last a little bit longer because they're extra UV rays from the stones in there. But if you're looking at this mainly for residential roofing, none of this kind of is important for you. And then obviously you have torch down roofing, which would last a little bit longer than those. I would say around the 25 year mark, maybe even 30 if you're lucky. Moving on to section number 3. So here are the warning signs you need to watch out for. Warning sign number 1, granule loss. So check your gutters and downspouts every single time it rains or there's a lot of snow melt. If you see coarse sand or little tiny rocks, essentially granule loss is normal for the first year of a brand new roof as the granules settle and the shingles settle, because there are excess granules when they're packed as well, just to make sure that the shingles are kind of separated. But if your roof is 10 plus years old and you're seeing heavy granule deposits every single time there's a thunderstorm or it rains or it snows and it melts, it's essentially the protection of the asphalt from the UV. So without these granules, deterioration accelerates fast. Warning sign number 2, if you have curling or cupping shingles. So shingles curl in 2 ways. Either the edges curl upward, which is called cupping, or the middle dips and the edges rise, which is called clawing. Both mean that the shingle has lost flexibility. It's dried out, aged, or was improperly installed. Curled shingles are vulnerable to wind and won't seal properly in rain. Walk your yard line, look at the roof profile. You can obviously see this from the ground. Warning sign number 3, cracked or missing shingles. Now, obviously, I don't think I need to go any further into this. If you're missing shingles, your roof decking is obviously getting stressed, or if you have some sort of underlayment. If you don't have underlayment, obviously, you have major issues that can lead to structural damage. Warning sign number 4, there's dark streaking or there's moss or algae on your roof. Again, this is pretty much self-explanatory as well. In Calgary, you don't really have these issues. If you're in the east or if you're in like the Vancouver area, you'll probably be dealing with that more. Warning sign number 5, if your roof deck is sagging. So there's 2 reasons this happens. 1, your house is really old, and essentially like the plywood just starts delaminating, it's getting old, and the structure of your house is changing. Number 2, if you're having extreme ice damming cases, or if your gutters are holding on to a lot of snow and it's heavy, what happens is like the fasteners that are attached to your framing actually start pulling it away, and gravity is doing its thing. So then the structural rafters underneath become compromised. Again, this usually needs immediate assessment. I can't really say that you're gonna know. If you know a little bit about construction, you might be able to tell. If you don't, better idea to call a professional. So warning sign number 6, if there's daylight in the attic. So, open up your attic hatch, take a flashlight up there and see if you can see little bits of sun coming through the roof deck. If there are sunspots, obviously you have breaches. Look for water stains, dark spots, trails on the rafters and decking. Look for traces of past leaks, even if nothing is actively dripping. Take a look at your attic insulation if you see any staining on there as well. And then warning sign number 7, this is usually the most obvious. If you have interior water stains. So if you have yellow or brown staining on your ceilings on the upper walls or the second floor ceiling, if you're in a bungalow or a bi-level on your first floor, these stains can appear several feet from where the water is actually entering. So it actually gets harder and harder to diagnose a leak. So don't just patch the drywall, find the source. Again, give a shout to a reputable contractor. Warning sign number 8, if your flashings are lifting up, so look around your skylights, plumbing, pretty much all your wall penetrations as well. So where shingles hit a vertical wall, there's wall flashing that goes underneath your siding and then top of the shingles. Make sure that's actually secured down as well. Make sure that the nails aren't exposed on it as well. So flashing failures are one of the most common causes of leaks and one of the easiest to catch early. So that's pretty much all 8 warning signs you should be looking at when you are assessing your roof from the ground. And then section 4 is maintenance that extends your roof life. So these are actual things that you can do that will help to extend the life of your roof. Number 1, keep your gutters clean. Backed up gutters cause water to pool under your shingles at the eaves, so clean them every fall at the minimum if you're in Calgary. Number 2, trim overhanging tree branches. Self-explanatory there. Number 3, make sure your attic is properly ventilated. A hot attic bakes shingles from below and accelerates aging. So proper soffit to ridge, having box vents, making sure that your attic insulation is topped up Very, very important to extend your shingle life. Again, I had discussed this prior as well. Like what I've noticed is a lot of these older houses that are organic materials, they were actually breathable and letting in air, especially as they were deteriorating and getting old. If you have a newer architectural shingle roof up on there, make sure that your contract actually goes over the ventilation and explains how it is, and maybe even takes a look inside your attic. That's how you know you're dealing with a reputable contractor who knows their stuff, you know? Like I've been in the industry for a decade now. So yeah, get a professional inspection every 3 to 5 years, and always after a significant hailstorm. You'd be surprised how often we find legitimate claims and the homeowner didn't even notice that their house was damaged to begin with. Moving on, section number 5. So when to repair versus replace your roof. And here's the honest answer on repair versus replace. If your roof is under 15 years and the damage is isolated, so it's just 1 or 2 spots, a few missing shingles, or like a failed flashing, small cracked section, repair makes sense. If your roof is 15 plus years older and you're seeing multiple warning signs, I cap this off at 3. If there's more than 3 issues on your roof and your roof is 15 to 20 years old, chances are the repairs are going to actually end up being fairly costly, and it's probably more economical and a smarter investment for you to actually change out and replace your roof. Repeated repairs on an aging roof are money going into a depreciating asset. So yeah, if your roof is over 20 years old, be very proactive. A roof that looks okay from the street can be much closer to failure than it appears. Get a professional opinion. And that's pretty much it. So that's the end of this video. Truthfully, how long does a roof last in Calgary? Best case with a quality architectural shingle and a well-maintained home, you're looking at 20 to 25 years average. Yeah, and if you take care of your house, obviously you can get a little bit more. If the colors are lighter, you can actually get a little bit more out of it as well. And you know, if you've had multiple hail seasons and never had an inspection, it's worth knowing where you stand before the clock runs out and you have to deal with costly repairs. So if you want a free roofing estimate from us or an assessment, you know, give us a shout, 587-717-1769. Email us at info@luminahomes.ca. Reach out to us on our website at luminahomes.ca. Guys, in the next one, thank you so much for tuning in.